Hi, this tutorial is part of my data science and analytics series called R to Python or R and Python. The philosophy behind this series is to help those of you who either knows R or Python and wants to quickly transition to the other one. And even for those who just wants to learn both R and Python at the same time. Please refer to my previous video from this series for the topics that are already covered and subscribe to the channel for the upcoming tutorials. In this tutorial, I'm going to cover how to set up working directory, changing it, and then look at various ways to import data. And finally, how to output native datasets to the disk. I will start with R and then replicate for Python. So, let's get started. Okay, so I'm in RStudio and I would want to know what is the working directory. How do I get the working directory? Is through this command, get wd. So this is my current working directory, and if I want to change this current working directory, I need to use set wd and then provide the path. So let's switch to say, instead of documents, how about desktop, right? So by default, any files that I'm going to save here without any path is going to get saved in the desktop now. So let's verify with the get wd command that if it has changed. So it has changed now. All right, so now let's try and load a data set. So as we all know that R comes bundled with a couple of data sets through the package called datasets, and one of them is very famous called iris. So let's try and load iris data here. How do you load iris? So it has, as you can see here in the workspace, it has loaded the iris dataset. So let's try and see what kind of object is our iris is. So how do you know is through this command called class iris. So it's a data frame. So now suppose if I want to save this data frame as an R object file in desktop, so how do I save this? So in R, any object you can save it as R data format. So that's the native R format. So let's try and save this iris data. So the command is save and then do iris and then do file argument, and within quotes you provide the name of the R data file. So say for example my data dot R data. Be very careful with your cases. This R data format, R is capital, D is capital. So let's try and save this, and let's see if it has saved it in the desktop. I'll just minimize RStudio here, and let's go to the desktop. There you go. You can see the my data file appearing here. Okay, let's switch back to RStudio. Now let's remove everything that you have in here, or rather remove iris. So you can remove iris through this command rm, and so let's load this file back again, right, from the desktop. So command is very simple, load. If you are already operating from your working directory, you don't need to provide the complete path. So you can say what is the file name, my data dot R data. So it should load the iris. Okay, you can see here. So so now let's try and save this iris as a CSV file, right? So how do you save iris as a CSV file? Is simple, write.csv. Or in fact, let's look at iris dataset now in this RStudio So you can see it either through this command view. Mind that V is capital, so it gives you the grid here, so you can see what are the different so it says 150 observations, 5 variables, sepal length, sepal width, petal width, and species. There are 150 observations here. Okay, so let's save this as a CSV file. So how do you save it? Is write.csv, and then you need to provide the data frame name. In this case it is iris, and the path of the file. So do file equals to, if you don't specify any folder name, it is going to save in the working directory. So let's say my iris.csv, and then press enter. So it would save. Okay, so let's see if it has saved the file in the desktop. So let's minimize this. As you can see here, the myiris.csv file has been saved. So let's try and open this. I don't have Microsoft Excel installed here, so it should open in the Notepad++. So yeah, it has saved perfectly here. Fantastic. All right. So we have seen how to load the data and save the data in both R native format and CSV format. So one thing I can show you now is how to load a CSV file. CSV my.csv.df, and I want to read into this data frame. So read.csv, and then provide the name of the file. In this case, say I want to load the myiris CSV file, myiris.csv, and that's it. So it has loaded the same myiris.csv file as an R data frame. So let's do class of my.csv.df. So it's again a data frame. So you can view any data frame with this command, or you can just click here as the same operation. So just see here that it has loaded the file index as well as an extra. So you can look at the different arguments that you can use in my instreet.csv, and then you can either choose to include this or choose to omit this as well. Alright, so that's about R. Let's try and switch over to Python, and let's see how we can replicate these commands in Python. Alright, so I have the IPython notebook already fired up, and there are a couple of libraries I would like to import for these operations. The first one is OS, stands for operating system, and the next one is pandas. Alright, I would say pandas as PD. I don't want to write the pandas every time I want to use a pandas command. Alright, so there are two libraries. Hopefully should work for all this work. So as it is loading, so let's try and see how we can see what is the working directory. Okay, so I would go print os dot get cwd. So it's a little different than R. It's not get wd, it's get cwd. C probably stands for current working directory. So you can see the current working directory is again c:users and analytics, and then let's try and change this to the same desktop. Okay, so how to change it? Change the current working directory is os.chdr, change directory. and then you need to provide the path in single quotes. So I would say copy that and then add desktop. Right, so let's see if it has changed. I can either run this command or I can do it here so you can see the change. So now the working directory has changed. Alright, so now let's try and read the same CSV file that is lying here, the myiris data, the CSV file. This data, you want to load it in Python as a Python data frame. Oops, it's not R. Okay, so this is how the alias is very helpful. If you don't put it as PD, you need to always write pandas dot whatever the function is. So just to cut it short, I would do PD because I have imported this as PD. Okay, so the command is very simple. To load a CSV file is pd dot read underscore CSV. It's different. In R you have seen it as read dot CSV. In Python, specifically in pandas, it is read underscore CSV. So since we are already in the working directory, we don't need to define the absolute path. It should work. So let's do what was the file name? myiris.csv, all in small. Okay, so since I'm not saving this as any other pandas data frame object, so it is just outputted in here. I can just say my panda data frame equals that, and then run the same command. It would not output here. And if you want to see what you have in here, so you can just simply say my pandas df like this, right? It would show you the beginning few and end few records. You can even specify head for returning, I think 5 of them. Yeah, the first 5, or tail for the bottom 5. You can even specify the number you want to know, specify how many records you want to see with this n equals to that number, so it can show you that. All right, so now let's try and save this file as a CSV file. Suppose you have done some analysis here and you have a data frame within Python, and then you want to export to a CSV file. So writing a CSV file is easy. So how do you save it is the data frame name dot to underscore CSV, and provide a file name in single quotes, pandas output.csv. Okay, so now it should have written as pandas output. So let's go and see. Yeah, there you go. Let's open it in Notepad, and here we are. That's it for this video, and we'll pick up some other new topic in the upcoming videos. Thank you for watching.